Are you interested about becoming a ghostwriter and earning money online by writing? Today I'm interviewing Neba Khan, who is building his brand on X and shares many valuable tips for beginners to start their journey.
So, what does it mean to be a ghostwriter?
First of all, what it doesn't mean is it's not a writer who died and then just spirit is out here writing called for people.
Common misconception. Yeah.
No, but simply speaking, a ghostwriter is someone who creates content for other people, right? They don't take credit for the content. So we're talking about things like blog posts, articles, books, speeches, content on social media, even YouTube scripts. So there are copywriters in the vast majority of fields that involve writing. And yeah, basically you are the writer, but you take no credit. So you are a ghostwriter.
Right. So you do ghostwriting. What is the main thing that you focus on? Is it posts on X or copy or emails?
For the time being, I'm trying a lot of things. I've written posts for people on X. And a few years ago, I actually wrote a couple of articles for people on freelance websites. So I was on freelancer.com for a while. But right now, I'm looking to switch to emails. But I wouldn't call myself an email ghostwriter. I'm looking to create actual educational email courses for personal coaches, personal development coaches. So it's like a one-time project. It's not something that happens recurringly. I create an educational email course for you. It's a one-time thing. And so it's a lead magnet. It's what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's something you put on your opt-in page to get your potential clients to sign up for your newsletter or something like that. And yeah, so I do it once. And if you'd like me to continue writing emails for you, because once you have people opting into your email, you then have to nurture them, right? So it's like, do you want to send them weekly emails or monthly emails just to keep the conversation going? If that's something a coach wants, I could do that as well. But mainly I specialize in creating just educational email courses.
Very good. So about writing, how did you learn yourself?
It's a little bit complicated, I would say. I'm not really an old writer. I actually started writing like consistently in January of 2023. So I've been writing for a while. Like I told you, it wasn't something that was full-time. I did the thing for a couple of months. Then I left it. I traveled. I moved to the UAE for a couple of years. Then I came back. But in January 2023, it's when I really took the writing thing seriously. So I wrote a couple of scripts for YouTube. I wrote some blog posts, and then I realized I wasn't really a good writer. It then forced me to improve my writing. And that was when, I think it was a couple of months later, ChatGPT came out. It was really popular at the time. So I really, really used ChatGPT at the beginning to improve my writing. So I would just go in there, give it some prompts. It would spit out some information, and then I'll rewrite that in my voice. And then I'll give it back to ChatGPT to rewrite what I wrote in another voice. So I'd get like a popular writer, say, write in the tone and style of, say, Hemingway, or maybe our, X-platform writers write in the style of Dan Ho. So it's just going to spit out some information. And when you do this repeatedly, you start to notice the patterns. You start noticing how your writing could be conversational, or it could be more refined for the corporate world. And once you do this a couple of times, like over a couple of months, you then start finding your own voice in the process. So I did that for a couple of months. And once I felt like I was comfortable writing, that time I got on X, and I've been writing ever since.
Very cool. So like learning to write is one of those meta skills that are super important. And as you just told me, you went your own way learning with ChatGPT. So what is your take about being an autodidact? Like how to learn by yourself and your approach to personal development?
To answer that question, I'm going to give you a backstory. Yeah. So the thing that got me, I lived my life like everyone else right up to 2020. Like I always had in the back of my mind that I could do something different, but I never had the opportunity to actually take the risk to try to do things that nobody has done before, or to do things that are not so popular in my community. But in 2020, when I came back from the UAE, because I came back February 2020, and a couple of weeks later, the international lockdown started, right?
Right.
So I had a lot of time to really sit and think about the direction I wanted to go with my life. And I decided I was going to move to Europe and struggle to maybe learn like a valuable skill. I was thinking about learning coding at the time, right? So I decided to move to Germany, which then meant I should probably learn the language. So in that time, I decided I was going to learn German. Couple of hundreds of dollars spent. I realized I wasn't really getting better at the language. See, it's funny because I passed the exams. I passed the A1, the A2 exam. So for people who don't know that, A1, A2, those are the CEFR categories of language proficiency. So CEFR is like a common European framework of reference for languages.
Right.
So I did A1, did A2, and I didn't feel like I was making any progress. I could pass the exams, but I couldn't quite speak the language. So it forced me to learn on my own. I was like, I've spent this much money, I've spent this much time, but I don't feel any progress. Why not just do it myself? If the courses I'm taking, the schools I'm going to, I don't feel like they're helping me out, why don't I just do it myself, you know? So I went on YouTube, I got a couple of videos, I watched those videos, I read a couple of articles online, I learned the language, and after a couple of months, I made much more significant progress as compared to the last 6 months learning at the institute here in Cameroon, my home country.
That's funny.
So I realized I'd been going about learning the wrong way. I actually was learning like we were taught in school to pass exams, you know?
Right.
So I went down the rabbit hole of learning, of how to learn. I discovered deliberate practice, active recall, you know, spaced repetition. So these are learning techniques to improve your ability to actually learn and master skills. And going down this rabbit hole led me to Stephen Krashen. He's a linguist. Like, he's really popular in the language learning community. He's written a couple of books about learning languages. And then I realized, you know what? I could probably transfer these skills to other language learning skills, to other skills I'm trying to learn, right?
Very nice.
So it's like I found a way to learn things on my own. So after that I learned French. See, I'm in Cameroon. We are a bilingual country, right? But most people can't speak both languages. So people who are born in the French-speaking region have difficulty speaking French, speaking English. For us, me born in an English-speaking region, I have difficulty speaking French. I learned French my whole life in school and university, but I was never proficient in the language. But after learning German and learning how to learn, I actually learned French. And right now, I'm not perfect by no means, but I can communicate at least, and it's a big improvement from way back. So it's just the whole autodidact thing is not only learning how to learn, but learning the right techniques and just pacing yourself, you know. It's learning the things that are necessary to master any skill, and that is first of all building the right curriculum for yourself. Like, what you need to do as a beginner is not the same as what you need to do as an intermediate learner of a skill or an advanced learner. So it's like building a curriculum, going through it, assessing yourself, you know, just respecting, adapting, and yeah, you could improve to whatever level you want. Truly, it all depends on you and how much effort you're willing to put in.
Absolutely. That's very cool. So you speak English, French, and German by now?
Yeah, I speak those to an intermediate level at least. I'm learning Russian as well, but I'm still a beginner level like that. I'll say A1. I'll be able to say things like, hello, good morning, how you doing? You know, yesterday I ate this. It's raining today, but to have a conversation, like full-on conversation one-on-one, yeah, it's still a little bit difficult for me.
Wow, very cool. It's really powerful to learn languages because someone smart said that the boundary of your world is the level of your knowledge of languages. Like, if you understand the other person in their own language, you connect with them in a very different level.
Exactly. What you said just reminded me of a quote. I don't know where it came from, but it's like, if you speak to someone in a language they understand, you speak to their head, to their logic. But if you speak in their language, you're speaking to their heart. And it actually reinforces what you said. You connect more and, yeah, faster, I guess.
For sure. So now you're growing your brand on X and networking. What's going on there? What is your take on X as a social media? Is it a good place to grow as being a solopreneur? And what's going on? What's your goal?
The thing is, I'm not really a social media guy, so I've never really been on social media. I don't know how X was pre-Elon, but right now I would say it is the place to start out if you're trying to grow a personal brand. The reason why is because X is the barrier to entry is so low. I'm going to give an example for YouTube, right? Because I tried YouTube at one point. The cost of creating a video, even if you're creating a video, like a lot of people think it's zero cost because they're doing it themselves. They're writing their scripts, they're creating their thumbnails. But if you were to value that like monetary wise, it would cost money, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you value all the effort you put in. You realize you should be paying yourself a lot of money. But X is so easy because it's a text-based platform. All you have to do is pick up your phone and write a couple of sentences, maybe up to 280 characters, and you have a post that people around the world can actually see and interact with. And that gives you data to work on. It gives you an opportunity to test your ideas on a small scale, which then makes it possible to refine your ideas and then repurpose them for longer form content. So if you're looking to do YouTube, a blog, or you write articles for, say, a paper or something like that, or you have an email list, it makes much more sense to me to create content that is low cost, that is efficient, and then check how it performs on X. That will be based on impressions, engagement, likes, comments, retweets. So you'd be able to know what is performing more, and it helps you with your market research to know what your audience actually wants.
Yeah.
And then you could repurpose that. So for me, looking at the creator economy, it's like if you're going to start on X, and there are so many ways to monetize on the platform, I find a lot of creators are trying to monetize the ad revenue route, which I feel is a lot more difficult. Because even though you need 500 followers to monetize, you also need 5 million impressions, right? And we all know that it's hard to get.
Yeah,
It's a lot. So it's like I'm not looking to go the ad revenue route. Maybe at some point in the future, I get to a point where I'm having that many impressions in a month. But I think it's the best platform because, like, for me, I'm going to use myself as an example here. So I'm looking to monetize in two ways. The first is to sell my services as a writer. That's why I'm doing ghostwriting, right? And the second is to coach smaller creators who are also struggling to build their brand on X, which you'd realize is mostly based on writing. Like even if you are a designer or you're a coder, you'd realize you actually need to be able to write on the platform to grow an audience. Because the thing about X is the best place to sell ideas. We are in the idea market. We are in the idea business. You do on X, you're trying to sell somebody a point of view. You're trying to put someone in your frame. You're trying to get someone to see the world from your lens. So it's like every piece of content you create, it's an idea you're trying to sell, and you have to be able to write. You have to be able to pass that message in a compelling manner. That is, you have to be able to persuade people to buy your idea.
Yeah.
So writing is great. And for me right now, I'm just looking to, write more, improve my writing, get more clients. Because right now I'm working with a couple of clients, but it's mainly free work and pay on performance basis, and get to a point where I have so many testimonials, so much experience, and just confidence in my overall process that I could actually start charging people for my services. And yeah, I would say that is the plan, just improve the writing, get more testimonials, get paying clients, and at the same time, grow my brand, get the credibility and the authority to then pitch my services as a brand building coach to smaller creators. Yeah.
So it's like a good plan. How do you see networking on X? It's quite different from other social medias. I see a lot of emphasis on networking, connecting with people on DMs, hopping on calls. What do you think about it?
It's key. I would say if you made a top 3, top 5, or top whatever list of the most important skills you need to have to succeed on X, networking has to be right up there with the rest of them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we are trying to build a business, right? It's a business. And if you went into the business world, what happens? It's all about networking. It's all about networking. Like word of mouth referrals, even in regular businesses, most people would say is the most cost efficient way of getting new customers.
Yeah.
And that is because you've established a real relationship with people. So coming to X is like people don't want to do it. Like when I started as well, I didn't want to do it. It's it's because you go out of your comfort zone, right? Like inboxing random people on the internet who are strangers, you don't know who they are really until you get to talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be AI on the other side of that great content you're reading.
It can be scary at first, for sure.
Yeah. So it's like I feel that people need to understand the logic behind the networking. It's not just for show. It's about building a community. It's about having many touch points in your echo chamber on X. Because at the end of the day, the most of us are in echo chambers. Like Money X is a small community on the platform. You'd see people in the crypto communities, in the anime community, in therapy, like I'm in another community, like personal development community. Like there's nobody who follows me on my account that is in that community, like a whole different set of people. So once you understand the logic, then you understand why you have to network, and it makes it much more easy. It reduces the risk that you burn out at some point. And for me, it's all about being authentic. At the end of the day, it's social media. So be social. It's like when you see someone you'd like to network with. So see, the thing is, a lot of conflicting advice on X, right? You'd hear people say, send at least 5 DMs a day, send at least 10 to 15 DMs a day.
Right.
I tried that. I actually tried. So I have some experience with that, but it didn't actually work out for me, and it's not sustainable. That doing that as well, you don't build real connections with people, because I realized I could send 5 DMs, 10 DMs, and after 2 weeks, a month, I don't talk with that people anymore, because I have so many people in my list I have to engage with,
Right.
and you don't have the mental capacity for that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like focus on building actual authentic relationships and being yourself. So if you see content you like, or someone you'd like to network with, someone who maybe you just like to know based on the content they create or just their personality. Imagine you saw someone on the road and they dressed in a way that impressed you, and you just ran up to them and start telling them how you like them, you like all what they do, and you'd like to be friends. That's a little bit weird, right? Like the only thing you're going off of is how they dressed, and you didn't even tell them that. So it's like, if you saw someone on the road and you're interested in being friends with them, I'd recommend to actually stop, watch where they're going to, see the people they speak to, notice how often they come to where you are, and the point I'm trying to make is you want to relate to people on a personal level, and that is much. Sure. So look for points where you like to connect with, where you guys intersect. So you'd have to go on their timeline, look at their content. If they have a website, go there, read that, know what their mission is, know what their vision is. And if you do this, connecting is easy.
For sure.
Because you know exactly where this person and you connect, and that is what you use to break the ice. So you just pop into that person's inbox and be like, hey bro, I saw ABC post you made and I relate to it because XYZ. It's XYZ thing is really important to me because I did it at some point in my life. Like, give them a backstory of some sort and then give them a compliment. Like, I really enjoy what you do and I'd like to connect, like get to know you more, and leave it at that. They are not obligated to reply. But the thing is, most people are nice. Yeah. So if you do that, someone saw the effort you put in to know who they are, and you share something about yourself so they can already connect, it makes it easy for them to reply you back in a positive way and then ask you maybe a question about yourself as well. And that opens up the conversation, right? Absolutely. So you now have you can now speak with them, talk more. And most people try to ask before they give, but that's a bad move. It's like, yeah. I think Alex Hormozy said this. It's like give, and then ask. Mm-hmm. So the whole mentality going into the networking is to give, is to offer value. How can I help this person? Maybe I'm a ghostwriter. I saw something on their profile I thought they could improve. Maybe they are hooks. Maybe they are not structuring their tweets right. But just meeting someone for the first time and giving them advice is a little bit presumptuous, if you ask me. So it's like, be human. Like, connect with this person first. Offer them value over a period of time. Like, get them to know you more, know you better. Yeah. And once you've developed some rapport, that time you get on a call. Absolutely. So to really strengthen the relationship. And after that, yeah, that person is your friend. Like, and most people don't get it. But to build an audience that is engaging, you have to do it the hard way. And this is the hard way. Because when you do this, people would then feel the need to reciprocate the help you've given them. And that is by liking your post, retweeting your post, and just supporting you on the timeline. Because for my friends, I don't care what you wrote, bro. Like, I don't mean it that way. Excuse me.
I get your point.
But if you're my friend, I'm liking your post regardless because I know that it helps you with your engagement and it helps with the business you're trying to build. And I wouldn't do that for everybody. It's people who I've spoken to in the DMs. Maybe we've hopped on a call. Even if we don't hop on a call, maybe we just relate in the DMs, but we kind of vibe. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make after all this long talk is you want to be human, you want to relate on a personal level, and you don't want to cheat the process. It's like meeting someone in real life. You can't just meet someone on the road and ask them for a favor. You'd have to get to know them first. So you should do the same thing online as well.
Well said. That's exactly how I think about it too. I think many of the beginners are looking for some kind of a hack, like set off the errands, follow everyone, wait for them to follow you back. But as you said, the only thing that matters is the real connection, that you actually want to connect with someone. So it's about finding your own tribe, people you resonate with, and just build from there to create real connections with people.
100%, bro. Exactly.
So about being an online solopreneur, where do you want to see Neba in 12 months?
12 months. I will be June of 2025. You know, if you asked me this question like 4 or 5 months ago, I would probably throw at you what everybody says on X, maybe 5K per month, 10K per month.
Yeah.
But the more I've gotten to grow on X, meet new people, try different things, I've realized all of that is a byproduct of actually going through the process. You can't rush the process. So the idea is I don't want to give myself, because it's a lot of pressure, you know, when you start using, I know it works for some people. Like once you set a goal, it gives you the motivation to then chase that goal. But for me personally, I would say, I really can't say I have a specific number or a specific thing I want to achieve. The thing I'm looking for is improvement and understanding exactly how the business works. Because the last couple of years, I've tried a lot of things. I've tried YouTube, I've tried blogging, I tried KDP as well. I don't speak about that much, but the thing I've realized is every time we start any new venture, we come in with a lot of preconceived notions. Like you have an idea of what you're struggling to achieve, and you think if you do these things, if you buy this course, if you just create more content, if you just DM'd more, you'd achieve what you want, right? But it doesn't really work that way, because the breaks that I've had, I didn't plan them. The first client I worked with, I didn't plan for that, but I was looking for clients. Like I was trying my hardest to get clients, but the client that actually came to me, I didn't work for that. So the second client as well, the call I was on that closed that client wasn't a sales call. It was just a networking call. Like I was just trying to be helpful.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make by saying all this is, where I'm trying to go with the brand is create a foundation that can actually last for a long period of time. Create a brand that is authentic, that is sustainable. Like the processes, the things I do on a day-to-day basis, right? I don't get tired of them. They don't bore me. I do not burn out myself. So my goal for the next 6 months would be to start an email list, build a website, and launch a giveaway. And it's taken me a while to come to these points to launch a giveaway, because I was going to do it like most creators do, as a growth tactic to get people to follow me more.
Yeah.
And I found, it works. You get people to follow you. You get people to come on your email list, but the email list wouldn't have much value because the people who are there are not primed for your services or for your product. So a lead magnet is supposed to prime your audience for the services you offer for. So you are giving people solutions, but they wouldn't have the complete solution. So in the next 6 months is just getting to a point where I create a giveaway that is really relevant for my community and get these people on my email list and just get to know them more, get to know what their problems are. So I could better develop a product or refine my services and my offer to serve them better and get them results. For the next 6 months, so that would be January of 2025, 12 months, would be to start earning on a consistent basis. I don't have a figure, but it's like not only earning, but actually helping people get results. Because I've worked with a few clients, and the thing I've noticed is getting clients is one thing, but actually getting results for the clients, which then allows them to give you a positive review. So it's like a flywheel. If you create positive results for your clients, they give you reviews, which then increases your credibility and authority to get more clients. And we just spoke about word of mouth referrals, right? Like you'd get most clients from people who say nice things about you. But you could launch a program, you could do some quick things and actually get to that point, $5,000, $10,000 a month, but it wouldn't be sustainable because you are not doing that built on systems that are repeatable, and you are not actually getting the few clients you have tangible results that would set them up to be independent and grow without your further help.
Right.
So basically the point is 6 months, know my audience more, give them a helpful product in the form of a giveaway. And then for the next 12 months, actually prime those people I gave the giveaway to buy my services either as a writer or a coach, and get those people to get results for themselves. However, whatever the figure I make would depend on how much work I would put in. Yeah, for sure. That's the plan. Prime these customers, these clients, this audience, build this community, and build an offer that is relevant, that is tangible, and that is sustainable.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So we were talking about the future. How about the background? You told me before that you used to live up to 2020 in Dubai, or where was it?
Yeah, I lived for a couple of months in Abu Dhabi. Then when I got a job, when I moved to the country, I was in Abu Dhabi. Then when I got a job, the job took me to Dubai. So I was there for 18, 19 months, almost 2 years. And I left in 2018, actually. So I'm going to give you the precise date. I left in August of 2018 and I returned in February of 2020. And before that, I was in university back here in my home country from 2013 to 2016.
Right.
And in between 2016 and 2018, I tried a couple of things. I worked in a credit union, volunteered. That was what made me realize I really don't like the corporate lifestyle. And then it forced me to move to the UAE. I was there. I worked as a sales associate. So I was just basically a sales guy. I sold shoes, sold performance shoes, lifestyle shoes, apparel. And when I came back home in 2020, I've been on the solopreneur thing since then. So I've tried, like we said, YouTube, blogging, web design, graphic design, all of that stuff, which has led me to X.
Very good. I'm curious, what do you think was the biggest lesson you learned working in sales?
I would say it's, and we've already spoken about this before, it's connecting genuinely. So the way we're paid on a fixed and on a variable basis. So we had a fixed salary and we had a variable salary based on performance. When I started working in sales, I was tempted to chase the variable metrics, like try to get my sales up as much as I can. And the thing is, when you do that, you start doing things that are not you. You are not really yourself, because you are trying to close the sale as much as possible. You don't really listen to the customers and their pain points. So the thing it taught me was to be authentic, to be genuine, to be myself, so I can connect to the client and then be attentive, be an active listener, be like really connect and know what the client's problem is. Like someone could come in sometimes and what would actually get me to close the sale is not talking about product features and benefits. It's just asking them about their day and noticing that they are going through something, like maybe they are not really in a positive mood, and you investigate that. You're like, hey man, you okay? It's like, you're not happy. Is it the store? Is it the mall? Is it the product? You don't like the shoes? And when you do this, you realize people actually want to talk to someone, right? So the thing is, someone with a problem is not going to be the random strangers that like just emptying their mind. So once you give them a safe space to speak, they become comfortable. And once they speak, they feel heard. They feel like this person gets me. And once you do that, sale becomes easy. Absolutely. It's like they trust you, they know you, and they like you.
That's true.
Most of the sales that I got tips from clients who actually told me, grab my hand, they put a tip in my hand and told me, do not share this with anyone. This is for you.
That's right.
And it's because I connected with them on a personal basis. It was not because I knew the product better than my colleagues did, or I gave them the perfect product that solved their problem. It was just because I connected. So I guess the one thing I learned from there is, just connecting with people on a human level. Like, yeah, the sale is the important thing to get you paid. But if you focus more on the people, the sale will come as well.
That's a very good insight. Like how powerful it is that people feel heard and they're doing whatever.
Yeah.
That you're actually getting them as another person. That's a very good insight. You want to talk about the ebook?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it, bro.
Okay. So I have it here on Amazon. The title is How to Play the Game of Life. 70 plus tips for building a better life through self-improvement in the 21st century by Thank you, Daniel. What can you tell me about the book? What was the creation process like, and what's the idea behind the book? What is the message you want to tell?
The message is to take personal responsibility for your own life. Like at the very core of the book, that is the message. Like take personal responsibility for your own life. You have the ability if you choose to see it. You have the capability. You have the drive if you choose to nurture it. And you have the mindset to envision the future you want. But it begins with being aware of who you are and what you want to get out of this life, and then taking action on that thought. So everything boils down to taking personal responsibility for yourself. And the book, I spoke about my personal experience a lot. The things I think I'm different from most people around me. I'm a non-conformist. I really don't like following the set path. I like to try things. I'm curious. I see myself as a lifelong learner. I try many things. I have many hobbies. I have many interests, many passions. So for a long period of time in my life, I wasn't sure about the direction I wanted to go. And I felt so much external pressure from doing the things I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So writing that book was the culmination of all of the experience I'd had in my life right up to that point, and just distilling my thoughts in a way that made sense to me, and I hope it would make sense to another person. Yeah, so the target audience is myself, actually. I was writing a book that I thought if I gave myself this book, if I gave my 3-year-old self this book, he would find it helpful, and it would give him a kind of a roadmap and the confidence to live his life the way he wants to, and not be afraid of the consequences or how people were going to interpret that. And for the process, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier about using ChatGPT. So I'd written a couple of things, but to write a full-length book, that was new for me, right? It's a daunting task. So that was what got me. It really improved my writing, but it made me understand how ChatGPT works, how writing really works. And I'm just going to, okay, so let's say you're looking to write a book. Let's say you're looking to improve your writing, right? And you don't know where to start. You have no experience writing. You've never written before. And you want to start doing something, and you want to use AI for help, but you don't want your content to be generic. You want it to be personal. I'll say what I did. So it's like an advice for someone who's trying to follow the same path. This is my process. I got a couple of articles online, how to write an ebook. I read those articles. I took notes. I got every step down. I got a couple of videos. So this goes back to the spaced repetition thing. Like I didn't just jump into it. I paced myself. I gave myself some time. Like I went on a sprint, which was just information consumption, right? I learned how to write an ebook, like read articles, watched YouTube videos, over a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. And then I learned how to write using ChatGPT, learned a couple of prompts, learned what good writing is and what bad writing is. So the thing is, most people, when they use ChatGPT, they don't know what good writing is. That's why they don't know their writing sounds generic.
Yeah.
Every single piece of content I wrote in that book is from ChatGPT.
Right.
But if you're not used to ChatGPT, you wouldn't tell, because it's so personalized. I wrote that book over the course of 6 months. The first 3 months was just like I did what the article said. It's like if you're going to write a book, you want to write a draft and give yourself some time in between edits. So you come back fresh, you come back motivated. I wrote this book. I generated every single chapter on ChatGPT. Like I asked ChatGPT for an outline. ChatGPT gave me an outline. I went into the outline, every single sub-chapter I generated on ChatGPT. I copied it and put it on the notes app on my computer, and then I edited like comprehensively. I did everything that the article said, like add your style, add your tone, add personal anecdotes, add personal stories, make it engaging by using writing techniques like foreshadowing, using similes, metaphors. So the thing is, it's about this autodidact thing is, if you're going to learn something, you have to go through the process. So when I knew what exactly I was supposed to do, I was hell-bent on actually going through the process and trying to make the book the best possible version of it that it could be based on the skills I had at the time. And the thing I knew was, at the end of the day, after the months I'll spend doing this book, I'll be a better writer at the end of it. Maybe the book wouldn't do well, but as a writer, I will definitely improve, because that actually writing a book and editing and doing all of that stuff, that is weeks of writing and rewriting. And so most people, when they learn, they don't practice. You have the knowledge, but you can't internalize the knowledge. And after a couple of months, you forget that knowledge. So it's like, if you want that knowledge to crystallize in your mind, you have to practice. And for me, the writing and the rewriting was the practice. So I wrote, I rewrote, I wrote some more, and I rewrote some more. And then after I was done, I rewrote some more. Like,
very good. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's the iterative process in writing, and whatever you do, you come back to it, you enhance it, you refine it.
Exactly. When you come back to it, you notice things from the article that you didn't include, and then you include them the second time around. When you come back the third time, you notice maybe some things you maybe overdone, you reduce them, and some things you didn't add, you add them. So after doing this for months, right, months, I got to a point where I felt like, I think I'm getting the hang of this. I think I'm finding my voice. I think I know who I want to be as a writer. Like, I'm still finding my voice, but my writing wasn't ChatGPT, like it wasn't generic, because I had edited so much, and that was when I learned how comprehensive an editing process is supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to do a developmental edit, so that's narrative structure. So for most non-fiction writing, most people don't think about it, but it follows a narrative. Yeah. So it's a transformation. It was like this before, it's like this now, and this is what happened in the middle.
Right.
But most people, when they use ChatGPT, they give you a listicle. Yeah. They give you a list of ideas, but it's not coherent, right? And then there's also copy edit, which means you actually go sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, and connecting every single idea to the next one, to the next sentence, so it flows. And so it flows chapter by chapter as well. And then you then proofread that stuff to make sure it's correct. It wouldn't be 100% correct, but it wouldn't seem amateurish, I would say.
Right.
Then after I was done with all that work, I put all of that stuff on Grammarly and then edited again. So it's really comprehensive. And that was how I wrote the book.
Very cool. Question, do you use Hemingway, the app? You tried it?
No, I didn't try. I see a lot of people saying Hemingway is better than Grammarly. I didn't try, but I think this is a sign that I need to try Hemingway.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I use it occasionally, and it shows me things to improve that I might not notice myself. So that's been interesting to test.
Yeah, I'll try it sometime.
Very good. We're closing to the end. I'm thinking of question. If there's a person similar to you who is looking to start their own brand, start their own thing, start the journey of being a solopreneur.
Yeah.
What would be a recommendation? How to get started?
A recommendation for someone looking to start a personal brand on X, you mean, right?
Whichever the way. Like, what do you think is the best strategy?
It would be, for me, in no particular order, but I would say start with the mindset. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's play the long game.
Yeah.
Just prepare. Like, I don't know if many people know this, and I don't know if many entrepreneurs, they actually check the statistics, but it's really bad. Like, the majority of startups fail.
Absolutely. Yeah. You need.
Yeah, so it's like just... Exactly. Perseverance, just persistence, relentlessness. You have to be aware that it's going to be hard. There are moments where you're going to have high motivation. There are moments where you have low motivation. There are moments where you trust yourself, moments where you feel like you're just wasting your time. So just be prepared on the mental side of things. And once you do that, I guess the second thing would be to improve your writing. Because at the end of the day, I think writing is a meta skill, right? It's the one skill to rule them all. Yeah. Like every single piece of content, or most of them, it's good writing that underpins the whole thing. Like you're talking YouTube scripts, it's writing, movie scripts, it's writing, everything. Yeah. It's writing, content, everything is writing. So once you can write, you can sell your ideas. You can make people believe you. You can make people trust you. You can make people know you. You can make people like you. And if you can do that, if you have the right mindset and you can write, you'd have to then learn marketing and sales, because at the end of the day, what content creation is marketing. It's content marketing.
Yeah, for sure.
So let other types of marketing. So like let email marketing, let SEO. So that's search engine optimization. Learn ads, learn affiliate marketing. But anyway, I'm going off a tangent here. I'm just going to come back with it and say, for someone who's trying to grow a personal brand, have the right mindset, know how to write, and then learn how to market. The best ways to market would be content writing. So know how to write content on whatever platform you like, and then learn how to do email marketing, because at the end of the day, what we are trying to do with our brands is you're creating a funnel. You're trying to build this know, like, and trust factor. And to nurture people, you have to get them into your community. But on social media, it's very broad because you're trying to attract as many people as you can. But once you get them on your email list, you're speaking directly to the people who have shown interest in what you do and what you can provide for them. So learn marketing, content marketing, email marketing, and then learn sales. Be able to connect with people, and that's where actually going on the DMing and networking calls come in. Like, once you get comfortable publicly speaking, maybe it's one-on-one or one-to-many, you'd find your speaking voice and you gain the confidence to speak to people, which means you not only be able to show them you can help them, you can actually tell them in person. And I've found the best way to close sales is to speak to someone.
Yeah.
Like, it's so difficult to convert someone if you send them a cold DM. But if you made a cold call and spoke with someone and actually have this customer speak with a real human being on the other side of the phone without even seeing your face, they trust you a lot more than if it's just an email or something. So I would say for me, those are the top 3 skills. And if you master these 3 skills, you can actually start making money without knowing a lot of things. Like, if you're able to dig deep and play the long game, you're able to write and get people to believe you, trust you, like you, buy into your stories, and then you're able to market them, your products and your services, and actually get these people to trust you enough to hop on a call, you'd be able to close them. And that is the business right there.
That's all you need. That's a very good list. Start with mindset, learn writing, learn marketing, and networking.
I mean, it's easier said than done, but yeah, if you master those things, I truly believe you'd make it in this business.
For sure. If people want to follow you on social media, where should they find you?
It's only on X at the present time. That will be at NK Danny. That's Danny with an IE, not a Y.
Very good. Okay. Any parting words you want to say to the audience?
Yes, actually, it's just you are unique. You are the only version of yourself. There's nobody else like you. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You just have to be prepared to persist, to experience the highs and the lows, because that's what life is all about. The highs lose value and meaning without the lows. So it's like, persist, trust yourself, trust the process, go through the process. Do not be afraid to take a road that no one else travels. Do not be scared to be different. Do not be pressured into doing things that you don't want. It's your life. It's one life. Live it well.